Alright. So myself, Dr. Arun, done my training from India, from MMC and PJ Chandigarh. I'm currently working in London as a senior clinical fellow. And it's been a couple of years since I passed my EDIC exam. I've taken a course with Farz Academy, and now I've joined as a faculty to contribute. First of all, those who are from India, congratulations. So very glad we won the World Cup, but uh, we don't know all the hard work behind it. Uh, we all need to work like very disciplined, do the boring stuff every day before we can achieve the final outcome. So this class is again uh, one of the routine we do regularly, doing the MCQs, go through the theory part of it, but it's all worth in the end. So you are in safe hands with Fast Academy. So let's keep it. It's going to be an interactive session. It all depends on how you are going to interact with me, and try and use this like an actual exam. There will be like I've prepared 10 MCQs, and we will discuss some theoretical facts behind that. And if possible, keep your videos on, make it interactive. And if you cannot answer on the mic, you can post it on the group chat, like the answers. I will give you the question. You can choose the option in your comment. And yeah, let's start. So, our first question is: a 35-year-old male following a high-speed motor vehicle collision is transferred to the trauma center. He is intubated and has a stable pelvic binder in place. FOS scan is negative, but his blood pressure is low, 85/40. Heart rate is 135. He is in shock. He is cold and clammy. After 2 liters of fluid resuscitation, we have started some blood transfusion as well. There is no improvement. Trauma CT, despite with unstable hemodynamics, is performed, and it's showing open book pelvic fracture with contrast blush in one of the branch of internal iliac artery. So what will be the next appropriate step in management? So either comment in the chat or you can unmute and answer, and then we'll take it from there. I'll say C. Anyone else? I expect everyone to just engage and answer. Yeah. Even if you don't know, it doesn't matter. It's not a negative marking exam. Yes. So some of the answer C. C seems to be the most appropriate answer. Agree with that. Any idea of Rebova? Have you used one or come across Rebova? Any idea? Resuscitative endovascular balloon occlusion of the aorta. Otherwise, we will talk about it a little bit. I have few interesting images. Rebova, someone has answered Rebova. We will discuss more on that. But the correct answer, as most of you said, is urgent angioembolization. And you see, other options are not entirely wrong, but the main thing the patient needs here is urgent angioembolization based on like evidence. But it's not available everywhere. Not all centers, even major trauma centers, are not capable of immediate interventional radiology and doing embolization capacity. In those cases, maybe emergency laparotomy. If they had given like pelvic packaging as one of the option, like emergency laparotomy with pelvic emergency packaging, that might have been a competing answer, but they have not given it, so I would have gone for C as well. With respect to Ribova, so for those who don't know what is that, so we just insert a Foley's balloon like catheter from the femoral artery and inflate it in the aorta. It can be inflated at multiple places like zone 1, zone 2, or zone 3 based on where the bleeding is. And it's a temporizing measure before we can get control of the bleeding. For example, if the patient is having like a major femoral injury, femoral artery bleed, before we can get to the theater, if the patient is so unstable, we can just put in the Rebova and stabilize them while we are stabilizing them for the transfer to the theater and do a definitive procedure to control the bleeding. So that's what this Rebova is about. But based on the evidence and the trials, there is no strong evidence to suggest it's improved mortality outcome. Rather, it worsens the outcome in the trials done. There was a large trial done in UK Rebova trial, which didn't show any mortality benefit. Rather, the interventional group had a higher mortality. So now it's out of the guidelines suggestions, like it should not be routinely used as a resuscitative measure, but there is still a role for it when done in good centers, like where they are uh, quite experienced using that as a temporary measure rather than as a definitive measure, because it's obviously causing perfusion, stops the perfusion below the level of the balloon inflation, right? So even though it improves the systolic blood pressure in the upper arm, the peripheries are not going to get perfused. So the mortality rate increases in them whenever the Rebova inflation rate increases 60 minutes or so. So that's where we are with the resuscitative balloon inflation. So if we look at the other three majors, so this is a picture of the pelvic vascular anatomy, especially the arterial side. So in our case, there was a contrast blush, which is suggestive of arterial bleed. And so these are all the possible arteries. Could either be external iliac artery branch or internal iliac artery branch. And of note, the corona mortis, as the name suggests, is an anatomical variant which connects like external iliac artery and the internal iliac artery branches. So it's a notorious branch. If it gets injured, it's difficult to control the bleeding. Even if you do embolization from one of the vessels, it may still bleed from other connection through the other major vessel. So it is notorious to cause mortality if it gets injured. It's an anatomical variant found in like 30 to 40% of people. So um, you may come across this in the MCQs. And in the right upper corner, this picture is giving you an idea of like various types of pelvic injuries. So it could be lateral compression injury, and this is a grade 3 injury, which example of the fractures of different bones. And APC is anterior posterior compression, which is the most common variety, where the pubic symphysis can get injured, and that's when it causes an open book pelvic fracture. And iliosacral junction can get avulsed as well. And the worst category is vertical shear, where there is like both the anterior pelvis and posterior pelvis, there is complete shear rupture, and its mortality is higher with this vertical shear, and the vascular injury is higher as well. And this picture kind of explains the bone fracture and the associated arterial injury. Um, so we get an idea of what can cause which injury, which mechanism can cause which arterial injury. So just try to give you a picture of pelvic injuries and resuscitation techniques. So yeah, for this question, angioembolization is the right answer. Any doubts with this?